Good evening, everybody. I've had a clairvoyant reading on the phone. It's May 2020 and we're still in some form of lockdown due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the coronavirus. Yeah, it hit the pocket, this reading, but obviously I'm not going to be attending Secret World Healing Weekend this year because obviously it's not going to be on. The reading cost me 60 quid. Now, it might sound a lot, but I wanted to get a genuine reading, and obviously I'm not buying anything until I move anyway, because there's too many risks involved of people trying to break in and causing many other problems. But anyway, let's crack on with this reading because it's quite an interesting reading. Not the fact that she's predicted a girlfriend or whatever, but the reading in general is just very interesting, where other psychics are not really picked up on. And the stuff that she's mentioned covers everything that I seem to be the trouble I've been getting. She's picked up on as well. So let me begin. Right, she picked up on this eye trouble that I'm getting. The what I call the laser gun zapping, or the X-ray machine zapping through the walls and the ceiling that the neighbours are causing to try and do damage to my eyes. She picked up on that. Which shocked me, to be honest, because I didn't think she'd even pick up on that at all. Now, she didn't word it as such, like I've just told you, but she did make the suggestion very strongly that this could cause issues with my eye down the line. She says it's something that's got to stop. She said it's a very serious crime, basically. She said it's very clever how they do it or whatever, and it's very sly. But because it's not being recognised as anything, there's not much people can do about it. But she said it's something that you need to be aware of, and it does need to be reported if the situation can't be, if trouble with my eyes gets any worse. So she picked up on that in some form or another. Right, she thinks that I'm going to get a partner sometime between May before I move out of my place, but she's making it sound like it could be very soon, sooner than whatever. But she gave the suggestion of a partner being a very unusual lady. She seemed to make the suggestion of this lady that I didn't really know her that well, but I do know her. She seemed to be making the suggestion of that lady that used to go to Yeovil College in around 1996, 95 area, maybe 97, I can't remember now. And she was known as the ugliest lady at the college at that time because she had the appearance of a dog. However, although she didn't attract many people, personally, I didn't mind the look of her. She wasn't that bad. She was a sort of medium build, quite tall, very smooth appearance, sexual looking face. It's just that the sexual looking face is a face that's very negative to some people. Most of the people back in those days preferred the blonde type of lady, or what you know as the model type, or the brunettes with a very sexual looking face. But anyway, let's crack on with what she said. She thinks that the lady's going to be a bit younger than me, which doesn't sum up to the to this lady from Yeovil that I just mentioned. But she did make the suggestion that the lady or partner, girlfriend or whatever's coming into my life is going to be similar appearance to that lady. So whether she's out with the age, I do not know, but she definitely made the suggestion of that specific lady. Obviously I don't have the I never wrote the reading down, so obviously I can't tell you the exact words that she gave, but that's the suggestion she made. She thinks that basically she said around the late summertime, but before the end of November, way before then, she thinks I'm going to be relocated into another accommodation. obviously she said that the lady that's coming into my life will also be moving in with me to this accommodation that I'll be moving to when that time comes. If there was no partner and I was to move to this new location, she thinks there could be a little bit of trouble, but hopefully that won't occur, because she believes that this lady's coming into my life. It's not going to be someone that knows me that well, so she made that clear. And she also said it's definitely not going to be someone online, so I'm wasting my time if I use the internet. And she made that clear as well. She said it's definitely not going to be on the internet. Facebook, YouTube, Google, whatever. She made clear that it's not going to be from the internet. That includes dating as well. So just have to see what I walk into when I go out and see who makes contact with me or whatever. She picked up on arts. She says you like paintings, and yeah, she's right about that. She picked up on my music, but she thinks that the lady that's coming into my life is going to like a mixture of easy listening music, meditation, and a little bit of pop and chart. So whoever this is, I do not know at this moment in time. Nah, she thinks that the jungle music that I'm listening to, the old school stuff, she thinks I'm actually going to place it aside, hardly listen to it at all. But she says it's not going to happen until this lady actually comes into my life. She says you're still going to be into this sort of jungle stuff until that time, but she thinks that there is going to be some change in my music. And she said you might not completely go out of jungle or whatever, but she did say that your music's likely to be much more different, and did say that she doesn't really know 100%, but she said you could possibly even change your music buds completely, but it's not going to be yet. It's as she was saying. Yeah, she said there's going to be a little bit of a problem at my place. She thinks that things are going to get a lot more nastier than what they already are. She told me not to report it to the police or report it to anyone. She says wait until it gets serious and get the evidence first, or there could be a lot of trouble if you didn't. She said she also picked up on something I didn't expect her to pick up on, and that's the doctor trying to give me medication. She doesn't believe I need medication at all. She thinks the trouble that's being caused, or the trouble that people are causing me, is actually occurring, but it's being brushed aside and not looked at, and that they're giving me medication as an excuse to say go whistle. She didn't word it as strong as I'm putting it now, but she did as good as said the same thing as what I'm telling you now. She says you are at risk of a break-in, and she said to be aware and to be careful about this, because obviously she doesn't want to see me have a break-in or anything like that. But she said the negativity that's around me is not very good, and she says you really do need to get out of there. She believes that there could be trouble, or someone, if I do walk into neighbours or visitors or whatever, she said to be extra cautious and to be very careful. Things might calm down just a little bit when this lady comes into my life, she said, but until that time, be extra careful, because she senses that things are going to get worse and worse, even though that I'm not causing trouble or offending anyone. She thinks it's still going to get worse, where people have been troublemaking or whatever. Yeah, she said that there is going to be trouble when I go out walking about. People will cause me trouble and they will give me threats. She said try to ignore it, and said if there is any trouble to contact the police, but only do it in an emergency situation, because she senses that you're causing so much trouble at the moment that they won't believe you at the end of the day if something serious does happen. And she said that's direct from the psychic, She said, that's direct from my guide. Yeah, she said to not bother to decorate the place. She says, keep it tidy, but I wouldn't spend money decorating the place that you're living at the moment, because she thinks that is a very negative surrounding. She sort of made the suggestion that people can pose nice and pretend to be nice, but in reality a lot of people have a darker side that you can't see behind their faces. She said to try a bit of meditating, getting a lot of exercise, that sort of thing. And she said try and avoid retaliating if anyone does cause you trouble, or you could end up in serious trouble, even though that you're not the cause and just getting frustrated due to these problems. She did say that the people that are causing trouble are doing it on sexuality, and she did actually say that she picked up on that I've never had a partner before, and she was very good at explaining the reasons why, and she has actually mentioned that people have put it through. She said it's not me that's done it, or because of the conditions or whatever, or because of my health or anything like that. She said it's nothing to do with that. She said it's where people have been causing trouble and turn these people against me, and this is why you still don't have a partner. She's also picked up on these setups when I go out. She doesn't know who's causing it, but she believes that there's an evil force that's causing it, and she said it could be caused by the mafia or some organisation, but whoever's causing it, these setups when I go out, all this construction of problems like time and sneezing in my face, wording on vehicles coming out in a negative way, or causing any trouble that they can, using all this force around me. She thinks it could be done by the mafia or an elite organisation, but she said it's definitely happening. She says it's not you imagining things or anything like that. She said it's definitely happening because her guide's telling her so. She said that's not going to stop. These setups that occur when I go out, she said that's not going to stop. But what she did say is it will be eliminated once this partner comes into my life. And once you get a move with this lady, she thinks that it will break the circuit of whoever's setting this action up against me, and things will change. She can also sense that a lot of this setup is what's the cause of all these negative people being put in my direction when I go out. She's also picked up on the loud bike time to get in a stretch as well. No clairvoyant has ever mentioned this before. She laughed when she said this on the phone, and I had to explain the situation as well. Yes, it was quite funny, to be honest, but yeah, she did pick up on that, and she said that shouldn't be happening either. What else did she say? She said you actually like plants and gardening. She said you wouldn't mind a little garden where you could maybe grow a few plants, or put them in pots or whatever. She just gave that information. She didn't really say much on that, but I found that quite interesting. I'm not so sure whether I'm that sort of person, but she seems to think that I would be into that. She also said all those people that you knew in the past, even school friends or anything like that, they're going to be no good to me in the future. And they said they're all gone now, and she said that most of them that have gone, she senses that there's a lot of negativity around people that I used to know as school friends or whatever, or people that I known at college, or people that I known here and there. She thinks all those people that I knew, they're all in the past, apart from family, of course. She says they're all gone. So she said, what you need now is a new life, nicer people, and change in life. Now, she said that she did ask my age. That's probably the only thing she did ask. And I said that I'm as good as nearly 40, I said. And she said that's quite an age to still be single. And she said that's quite a serious age to still be single, actually. And she said everyone has had someone in their life by their 30s. So she said the same's going to happen to you. She says you're going to get someone. She says everyone's entitled to something, and somebody that they can fancy and somebody that they can love and enjoy life with. She said even if you've only had one partner, she said it's time for you to have someone as well. She says that 40 is not really a good age, but with the prediction that she's given of this lady that she thinks is coming into my life, she says that's probably what's going to change you. She says you're definitely going to change once you've had a partner. She says you're going to be less negative minded. She definitely came up on that as being a key to all the problems. She thinks that your mind's going to become more normal, if that's the right way to put it. She said this is what the problem's been all along. She says it's because you haven't had a partner or had fun with a partner that you've always been in a depressed state, or moaning or writing stuff down and all the rest of it. She thinks it's all down to me not being able to have a partner or someone that I can fancy to be in a relationship with. She never gave the name of this lady that she predicted, but as I was saying, she said it's definitely not going to be someone from a dating site or on an online service. She said it's definitely going to be someone that I'm going to meet in the street or someone out and about. What else did she say? She says that you like burning candles, which is true. She said, I think I mentioned, she said you want to do some more meditating. She thinks I'm going to give up my drinking. She did say that. She said you're still going to have your drink, but she doesn't think that I'm going to be drinking. She thinks that my drink might change as well, basically. She thinks I'm going to maybe things like gin and tonic, or vodka, or I don't know, to be honest. She just thinks that my drink style is going to change once I'm with this lady. I'm drinking lager every night at the moment, but that's obviously because my life's not very good, to be honest. It's a very sad life at the moment. So yeah, she could be right there. It depends. Maybe the lady drinks this sort of stuff. Maybe she thinks that I'll be changing my style of drinking, but she thinks that I'll only be drinking on occasions rather than drinking every night, which in the past I thought to myself could be true, because obviously if I had a partner I would actually consider stopping my drinking anyway. So yeah, she could be right there. She reckons Christmas is going to be interesting, because she reckons that it's going to be a very different Christmas, because she thinks this Christmas coming you're going to be celebrating it with this partner, and there's going to be a couple of people that like me that are going to be having a lot of fun. And she didn't say whether this is some form of socialising out or what, but she thinks that there's going to be something around Christmas time that's going to, you can have a couple of drinks, and she thinks that that's going to be the best part of your life, because she thinks that things are going to change. You're going to be already with this partner, back in the summer of now basically, to when this time comes. Now, I don't exactly know what event she is applying to, what she's applying there, but she believes that it's all going to be, it's going to be a happy time, and it's going to be sort of time that you sort of remember, or as a key, you're going to look back to now. And she's basically said that that this Christmas you're going to basically be looking at how your life was and your depressed state while you're having a good time at Christmas, basically. I think that's a better way to put it. Yeah, what else did she say? I need to think, because it cost me 60 quid. I don't want to forget what she said. I mean, it was a treat. I mean, I've had the money go in the bank, and like I said, I can't really buy much stuff, so, and you know, I won't be going to the healing weekend because it's not on this year, so I decided to go for that one reading. There is one pity about the reading, but with the information that she's gave, it's covered the cost anyway. The reading's supposed to go on for 30 minutes, but when she gave me the phone reading, unfortunately it only went on for 21 minutes. So she should have given me more time for what I paid for the reading. So it should have been 30 minutes for 60 quid. And she only gave me 21 minutes. But what she covered in that 21 minutes was shocking information. I mean, she's picked up on everything. The setups, me being single. She's actually mentioned that the illegal things that happened to me as a child as well. She's actually come up with that. She hasn't put it in that way because she said she doesn't want to upset me. But you could see where she was coming from when she mentioned that bit of information. And obviously she's picked up on me not having anybody before. And as I've already said, the bit about the garden or liking plants is interesting, because it used to be a subject I liked when I was a kid. I had this book reading of trees and plants, and I used to like looking at all that sort of stuff, and I used to love sunflowers as well. But whether this bit about garden, I guess it really depends if there's a garden in the place I move into. I don't know, but she's definitely made the suggestion of plants and gardens and all that. I do grow a couple of plants indoors, but she made it sound like it's going to be a bit more frequent, if you get what I'm saying. So just have to wait and see. She said that the partner that's coming into my life is not going to fall through. She said it's going to happen. She said it can't fall through. She said it's going to happen when you're unaware of it. Just be careful not to be in a mood on that day it comes, she comes. Just sort of try to be relaxed about the problems that are occurring, like the setups caused by the mafia or elite organisations, as she said, and just try and get through it and just accept it, and you'll be asked out. But she doesn't know how it's going to be done, but it's definitely going to be, she's going to notice or find that I'm single. I don't know how she's going to do it, but the clairvoyance just said that it's going to happen unexpectedly, and it's going to happen between now, basically today, until I move out of my place, which she said is going to be around before November, but before the end of November. So that's basically what she said. She said your food's going to change once you're with this lady. She thinks that you're going to be eating proper meals instead of snacks. She thinks that I'm going to be eating and drinking at normal times. And also she mentioned my sleep pattern. I don't usually go to bed until about 2 in the morning or whatever, because I have a drink at 11:30, which I've been doing since my old place, because of all the trouble I had, because there was 10 years of trouble at my old place, so it carried on at my new place. Originally I went back to 10:30, but then I went back to 11:30 again, about 2016. So yeah, she thinks that my sleeping pattern is going to change into a more sort of normal pattern, like going bed at something like 11 at night instead of drinking at 11 at night or whatever, and getting up, so you say 8 or 9 or 7 o'clock or whatever. So she could be right. I mean, she is a very good psychic, and everything I have said is 100% true. I'm not making anything up, and everything she said is spot on to what I'm telling you now. And she believes that the partner is 100% coming true, and I'm not making that up. and the move is definitely going to be happening as well, and I'm not making that up either. Everything she told me that I've mentioned is 100% accurate on this recording, and I hope you enjoy listening to it. And please subscribe and leave your comments, and let's see what happens by Christmas 2020. See if I'm celebrating or not, or whether I'm still at this place in a low state with no partner, if alive. Only joking. Anyway, thank you for listening.